everybody, soaring through the skies, Darling Zodivs here, and I'm back with you with another video. This video is what if Deku had a sound quirk? And yeah, I finally come up with a name for his quirk. Sorry for those who suggested names and all that. So yeah, his quirk is called Sound Matter. The band name I still haven't chosen since you guys gave me such good choices and I couldn't choose between them. So you have to find that out later. So yeah. Now, last time we left off with them training and doing all this sort of thing for the UA. Now we're gonna do the UA entrance exam. So we see our squad of 4 just heading in. Izuku has his headphones on while his hands are in his pockets and just walking, while Jiro is walking next to him and has her hands in her pockets, as well as she's also listening to music too. We see Mina at the back there with Kirishima too. They are busy talking and all that stuff. Kirishima just being Kirishima, talking about how many things are and all that, and Mina just laughing at him and all that too. As they come into UA, Yuko says, so this is gonna be our first time here. This is gonna be our first time here, and won't be the last time we're here too. Then Jiro says, you say that as if you're positive you're gonna get in. Well, I am positively positive that I'm going to get in. Is it okay? Yes. Just keep quiet from now on. He says as he puts his right hand on his heart. Jiro, you have no idea how sad you make me feel right now. And I don't care how sad I make you feel right now. Even more hurt, he says as he gets on his knee, as his left hand is on the floor, as his right hand is still by his heart. Jiro says, stop being dramatic, Izuku. Let's go. Kyoka, help me. You did this to me. Izuku Midoriya. Yes. Good. Now let's go. Yes, ma'am. He says as he goes back to his gloomy attitude. And then they get in, and then Kirishima's like, such an odd couple. I say it works, Mina says, as they go in. They do the written test. They see Bakugo. They don't pay any attention to that. And when I say they see Bakugo, I mean Kyoka and Izuku see Bakugo. So yeah, they go in, they write the test, they do all that. Then it's now time for where they all go into the room. And then President Mike comes out and says, hello, my little listeners. Can we have a yeah? Before we start this off, as in everything, the whole place is silent. Then it says, tough crowd. So, let's begin. As you all know, this is going to be a mock test against robots. There are exactly 3 robots which will help you gain. Exactly 3 robots which will help you gain points. The 1 pointer, the smallest one, the 2 pointer, the medium one, and then the 3 pointer, the largest one of them all. And then a blue head kid with glasses raises up his hand and says, sir. Then he says, yes, examiner 643. Sir, it says here that there are 4 robots, but you've only mentioned 3. And everyone looks at him and says, everyone is thinking one thing. Are you serious, dude? And you over there, as he points to Izuku and Jiro, as as we can see, Izuku has his headphones on, as well as Jiro has her headphones on. As then Izuku takes it off and says, why aren't you paying attention to to the explanation? Well, if you want to know, my quirk lets my hearing be extremely high, so I could hear even through the music. And plus, I already read the pamphlet, and if you read it or just waited for Present Mind to finish, you would know that the fourth robot is the zero pointer, and it's worth nothing. Now sit your ass down and let President Mike finish. Ugh, imbeciles. As he puts back his headphone, he says, "Thank you, Examiner 534. As he said before, the last robot is a zero pointer, and it is just an obstacle. So, with all that done, take your cards, which are neatly placed at your desk, and go to the bus, and they will take you to your assigned Mark City. That's all for now." As then they all go to their go change into tracksuit and all that, and go to their buses. Kyoka and Izuku are conveniently together, and Mina and Kirishima are too. As then they are busy standing together, and Zuko says, "Who do you think will get the highest points out of all four of us?" That would be you, second, me, third, Kirishima, fourth. You obviously know it's Mina. I just wanted to hear you say it. Whatever. Okay. Okay. Let's gonna start. As in the doors open, and then Izuku says, "See you later," as he travels on sound waves. As he goes, he also says, "See you," as she uses, and then she starts to run too. As in the other kids are saying, "Hey, that's cheating. President Mike hasn't said go yet." Then President Mike says over the intercom, "What are you doing? Follow those two leads. Them two. There's no countdowns in a real fight." As everyone starts to run too. As we go to what Izuku's doing. Izuku's just walking with his hands in his pocket. Then when robots come up to him, he says, "Sonic boom," as he flicks his fingers. Then the sound inside makes a boom as it explodes and pieces fly everywhere. And then he says, so easy. As he carries on doing this, as he's moving at the speed of sound and doing all this. As with Kyoka, she's plugging in her earphones into nearby surroundings, then checking if any people are there, and she sees they're not there. Then she plugs them to the ground and creates a sonic wave that goes through the ground, making the robots fly in the air and crash down, earning her points. So that's what she's been doing. As with Kirishima, he hardens so much that his hands actually become sharp as a knife, and then he dashes thanks to his increased stamina and endurance running. So yeah, as for Mina, she's using her quirk in a more creative way, making whips out of acid, which actually cut through the robots, making them fall down. So yeah, they're just busy doing this all the time. And now we go to the observation room. We truly have an amazing bunch this year, don't you think? Yes, we do, sir. Looks, these people are very promising. Some are using speed to their advantage. Some are as they show Ida. Some are using brute force, as they show Bakugo. Some are using intel gathering. They show Shoji, and then they say, but look at those four specifically. And then they hear Asawa say that, and then he says, I want those four in my class. Okay, then they try to see why Asawa wants them. Then they see Mina using her quirk in that way. Then Nezu asks, they ask what her quirk is. Then Nezu says acid allows her to create acid from her palms, but it looks like she's trained it so far that she's able to make shapes with it and manipulate it too from every part of her body. Already good with her quirks and has trained it. No wonder Aizawa wants them. Then they see Kirishima. What is his quirk? Hardening, able to harden his body. But look at how he's hardening his body. He's made it so hard that it's able to cut through steel. Also has trained his body. And his quirk too. Good. Then they see Kyoka. What's her quirk? Earphone jack. Able to plug into surfaces and able to hear. But the way she's using it, she's creating sonic booms and shock waves. She's trained her quirk too. And then the final one is when they see Zuko just listening to music as he's hovering in the air and they're wondering how he's doing that. As in they ask what is his quirk, then they say sonic matter allows him to use matter to create sound waves and all sort of things to do with sounds. Then Isaiah says, so he's using sound as a basis so that he's floating in the air. Wow, they've truly trained their quirk so far. Where did they all score? And then random high school, all the same. It says these four were the top in their school and are friends too. Wait, what? Yeah, it says that right here. So no wonder they're all. So no wonder they're all so good with their quirks. They're friends and they train together, improving each other's skills and helping each other too. It says here that they're also part of a band. Which band? Then he says the band name, since I haven't chosen between them yet. Wait, I know that band. They're pretty popular in Japan right now. So they've already discovered another passion to do as well with their hero work. Prepared for every kind of situation, train their quirks and bodies, and improve their quirks to go farther than their original limit. No wonder Aizawa wants them in his class. They all thought. As then he says, then why didn't we test them out a little bit more further? Wouldn't you say that? Yeah, let's do it. As then they release 0 pointers. Now, let's go to what Kirishima and Mina do with their 0 pointer first. They see 0 pointers come, the 0 pointer coming, people are running around. Kirishima says, Mina, what is it? Kirishima, let's save any people who are lagging behind. Okay, as then they rush, as Kirishima rushes, as he uses his hands, he hardens his hands further to be able to break through the debris which is falling on the person. Mina uses her acid whip to sling them to her. She makes sure that it doesn't hurt that person and then tells that person to go. As they keep on doing this, then they see that everyone is safely evacuated. And then Kirishima says, Ashiro, Mina, yes, time for formation 2. Okay. And then Kirishima hardens his body to unbreakable. Then he says, unbreakable. As he hardens his body. And then Nina creates a ramp, creates a jump, whatever you want, a trampoline, yeah, with her acid, as well as makes acid balls and sticks them onto Kirishima. Then Kirishima bounces and drills into the zero pointer. As he gets out, the acid balls are in the hole which the zero pointer is in, and then Nina says, acid burst, as he pop, and then they melt the zero pointer from the inside out, stopping it. Then the teachers, when they saw this move, were astonished at their teamwork. And then and then and then now we go to Izuku and Kyoka. As they see Izuku and Kyoka coming up, then Izuku says, Kyoka, yeah, maneuver 6-4, evacuate and evacuate in safety, okay? As she plugs in her earphones, in the ground and uses sound waves to lift up the rubble from the people who got caught by the rubble. As Izuku uses his sonic matter quirk to make platforms of solid sound to carry them away. Good. Is everyone out of the surroundings? No, there's still someone who's about to get squashed by the zero pointer. Okay, as he snaps his finger, and then there's an invisible force around the person who's about to get stunned by the zero pointer, blocking the zero pointer from doing that. Then she uses her quirk to uses the sound waves to lift up the rubble. Hizuku uses solid sound to move her away, and then he stops the bubble of sound which was around there, and then the zero pointer's leg goes down. Then he says, "Want to do? Do you want to do our final move? Anything for you? Anything with you?" And then they kiss right there. And then Zuko puts his hand around her left shoulder, and then he puts his right hand together with Yoga's, and then they say, Sonic Jack. And then she plugs in her earphone jacks in the ground. And then Zuko lets the sound matter follow where the earphone jacks are. And then she uses sonic waves and pushes them up, going on the zero pointer, lifting it up, and then Zuko uses his sonic matter quirk to make a sonic air pulse, like a sound tornado, with shockwaves that lift it up and tear the metal off. And then when they stop, the zero pointer is still there. Then Izuku takes a rock, then uses his sonic matter and flings it fast at it. It goes ding, then falls down and skips a little bit. Then the whole zero pointer falls down into scraps. And then it says, "Wow, that was cool, wouldn't you say?" Yeah, it was. Isn't the kiss? And then President Mike says, "And that's all over." When the proctors of the exam saw this, they were like, "Mm, are you sure these kids are not pro heroes?" I'm pretty sure. But they did have a lot of time to practice their quirks together. It says here that the girl with the earphone jack quirk and the boy with the sonic metal quirk went to the same middle school together and were friends there too. So it's possible that they know each other. That's why they're able to make such a move. I see. That's good. And then that's what happens there. So yeah, they meet up, they talk about how what they did and all that. Then Izuku says, well, we have two concerts sold out this during this 2 week period of us having to of us having to wait for our results so we can relax and practice during that time. Don't you agree? Yes. As in they do that. They have two concerts and all that. I do not know which songs you guys listen to, but yeah, just imagine your favorite song and all that. And then they go on stage, they say, "We are yada yada yada," and the crowd goes wild, and then they start to play and all that stuff. And then they do that 2 times, and then they have an interview. So then they all dress up nicely in suit. The boys dress up in suits, and the girls dress up in dresses. And then they ask a question. As then is they sit together. They all sit. Kashima sits on his lone couch. Mina sits on one too. Izuku and Kyoka sit on a double couch as Izuku has his left hand over her left shoulder and pulling her close. As then the news reporter asks, "So, well, right here we are with yada yada, and we're gonna ask questions. So, this has been the biggest question on everyone's mind. Are you Izuku Midoriya and Kyoko Jiro dating? No or not," Kyoko says. And then says, "Oh, so why does he have his hand around you then?" "Oh, we're not dating." As then she lifts up her hand. She says, "We are engaged." As then they all then they say, "Oh, I see." As then they go on asking questions. What? How did they all come together? Then they say some few things about how they met at how Izuku and Jiro were friends since middle school and started dating then. And then they met Mina and Kirishima the last year of middle school. They went to the same high school. They started training their quirks to go to UA, as well as writing songs and practicing songs too, doing all that. And then yeah, they talk about their hobbies, their lines, the food which they do. Then Mina and Kirishima say, You have to try out Izuku's food sometime. It's to die for." "Wait, you cook?" "Yes, I do." And then Mia says, "And you should see their romantic moments." Hmm. "Oh, wait, I think I have one right here." "Okay, this is the picture. I took this picture when Kyoko was busy doing the dishes. Izuku snuck up on her and intertwined their hands and kissed her on her forehead. It was the best moment of it was the cutest moment I've ever seen. So yeah, imagine that guy is Izuku and the girl is Chiro. So yeah, and then they all queue at that moment. So yeah, then they all stay in the same house. They were all bonded together with their money. They have a manager. I'm gonna call her. They have a manager and they also have a studio. The manager's name is, what should I name the manager? Hina Otikashi. Hina Otikashi is their manager's name. And she tells them when they need to practice, when they need to dance, choreography, and all that stuff for music videos. So yeah. So yeah, that's what happens. So they all get their letters, and then in the letters it shows us how they all open at the same time. It says, "Welcome, Izuku Midoriya, Kyoko Midoriya, Ejiri Ejiri Kirishima, and Mina Ashido. You all have made it into UA. You've performed excellently in your exams. Izuku with filling points of 216 with filling points of 216. Jiro then says for Jiro filling points is 200 to exact. Then Kirishima is 190 998, and then Mina is exactly 190. But then he says that's not all. You all got rescue points for rescuing, as well as taking down a 0 pointer. Izuku got about got about uh, got about 34 hero points. Kyoko got Kyoko got 26. Kirishima got 22, and Mina got 20, meaning their grand total goes up to Izuku of 250 points, Jiro of 226 points, Kirishima of 220 points, and Mina of 210 points. They all congratulate each other because they made it into class 1A. Welcome to Your Hero Academia. Then they're all excited. Then they make a live stream telling their followers that they made it into UA, and that doesn't mean that they're going to stop doing concert. They still will, but they also will be doing hero training. And then now it's the first day of school. Izuku is driving everyone there. You can imagine what car he's driving. Just imagine an expensive car. I'll have car pictures in the next part. So yeah. As then he's driving, they get there, he parks. And then they go in, they're walking around, trying to look for where their class is exactly. As they get there, they hear jabbering. No, they get there early, so they don't see Bakugo and Ida fighting. They get in, they see Momo and Todoroki already there. So yeah, as Momo and a few others there. And then when they see them, they go in. Let's take. Let's have Ojiro and Hagakure. They and Kaminari. Who else? Froppy, Zero, and Soji. They go and ask them for an autograph, and then they do sign their autograph. They do sign an autograph for them. And then they go and sit down. School just sits down there with his headphones on, and then next to him is he's in the corner of the room, facing the window like any main enemy protagonist. Jiro is sitting next to him, Kishima's in front of him, and Mina's in front of Jiro. As in, they're busy all doing their own thing. But Jiro brought her chair closer to Izuku, has her head on his shoulder, and is reading a book with her earphones on. Izuku has his headphones on. His head is resting on his arm, and he's looking out at the beautiful sky. Mina and Kirishima are just talking about the concert and general stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm going to be ending it off right now. Next part is going to be the quirk assessment test, as well as heroes versus villains. And maybe if I have time in that episode, I might end in the interaction of the gates breaking down. So yeah, that's all from me. Dawn Wings, flying off.